Yo, yo, yo. Let me get this shared out real quick. Nothing but issues and weirdness. Share it out real quick here. Man, what a pain in the butt. Pain in the butt. How you doing, Amy? Let me get this shared out real quick. All right, what's going on? Yeah, I don't know what's crazy. Nothing but issues. Nothing but be good now. Hopefully. I think I lost a webcam. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I may have lost a webcam. Can you hear me? Holidays to you as well. Just figured I'd get on here since I wasn't on Monday or Tuesday. We didn't do a Playmaker podcast this week. We took the week off for Christmas. Should be back next week. I mean, we're going to be back regardless, but I just don't know what's going to be going on with the holidays. You know, as New Year's comes in next week. I'm hoping to do another New Year's stream where I rip like a cool box, like a higher end product box, but we'll kind of see where things land or where they're at for that. What's up, Greg? What's up, Jim F? Yeah, it's so weird, man. Like, I literally had to I restarted my computer, reshut everything down. For some reason, my face webcam, I figured out, well, first the internet wasn't working. So I direct connected to my laptop, turned Wi-Fi off. I had connection fine, perfect with Ethernet. So I'm like, okay, wait a minute. So something's going on. Maybe my computer's bad. Maybe the Ethernet port connection's bad or something, not registering internet. And then my face cam wouldn't go on. My brake cam would. So I'm using my brake cam as my face cam right now. I got to get all that figured out for the next auction. So I'm going to have to get another webcam. I don't know, weird. I was checking all the connections, reconnected, disconnected, made sure everything was good. And this one works, but the other one doesn't. So I guess maybe the other one's maybe it just died on me. Merry Christmas to me, right? Give myself a new webcam. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you guys. There should be a video dropping here probably in the next day or two. I had a guy I sent all my clips to for like, I kind of created a whole mini vlog video thing for the whole Toys for Tots deal. So that should be, whenever I get it, he got all the video clips the other day. He's putting it all together. That should be coming up soon. I'm honestly, for 2022, I mean, I'm still going to have the live, still going to do the auction, still going to do the DFS stuff, but I'm really honestly thinking about like bringing you guys weekly or every 2-week upload videos. So trying to get somebody that's good with editing, trying to kind of record stuff throughout my days when I have things going on, when there's stuff going on, something comes to mind, kind of like in the daily walk vlogs, got stuff on my mind to talk about, whatever, and kind of putting it all together, if you will, and dropping it. What's up, Michael Keller? Welcome. How are you doing tonight, man? Good to see you. It looks like it might be the first time I've seen you in the chat, but I appreciate you being here. Tonight's just kind of a community hangout. We're just going to kind of chat, kind of maybe recap a little bit this past year, 2021, with the community, kind of where the community's been, how we've done, the pluses, we don't really want to focus on the minus or the negatives too much. And that's really going to be the goal for 2022, is really going to be to continue to kind of nip the negative in the butt and keep moving forward with the positives, right? We can sit here and complain all we want, right? We talked about 2020 not being such a great year. Couldn't wait for 2021 to get here. 21 gets here. We have all these things happen. We get this pandemic, etc. It's worse than it was the year before. And now we can't wait for 2022 to get here. At the end of the day, I think that's just life, right? I think we're going to continue to have these trials, tribulations. We're going to continue to have these struggles. We're going to have to continue to have these things we're going to have to barricade through and push through. And there's two ways we can approach that, right? There's two angles we can take. We can either dwell on stuff and talk about all the bad and worry about and focus on it, or we can take a positive angle and we can try to better the situation or situations and make it as positive as we can. So that's our choice. Each and every one of our own choices, right? It's just like people and how they choose to be, whether in communities, the hobby, in life general, whether they choose to just be a troll and decide that they're not happy with themselves, so they got to constantly troll other people and try to bring people to their level, or you're going to be try to be somebody that's upbringing, positive, and going to try to help make other people's days better and shine positivity and light on them. So there's different angles, different ways you can do it. But all in all, 2021, I think as we're closing in on the year, I think it's been actually a pretty good year pending all of the issues and everything that's happened. I think we as a community continue to grow. There were some bumps. There were some things, right? I took a break. I took a longer break than normal. I got burnt out. Went a little too hard. Tried to stay consistent. As I always tell anybody out there who's trying to build a channel, build a community, you have to be consistent. You have to show up when the people think you're going to show up. It's like right now, I busted my tail to make sure I could be here, whether there's one person watching, 3 people watching, 5 people watching, whoever shows up, it doesn't matter. Part of your community is going to be there if they can be. And when you tell people you're going to do something or you're going to be live, then you need to do it, right? And if something comes up and you absolutely can't make it happen, you can't make it happen. But I did everything I could so I could make sure that I got on here to catch up with you guys. Because, again, I'm used to seeing a lot of you guys on Monday nights with the podcast. I'm used to seeing a lot of you guys Tuesday nights with auctions, right? We just had an awesome auction last Tuesday where a lot of people donated a lot of stuff, cards and whatnot, and we raised over $1,100. I donated $1,200 to Toys for Tots. We were going to do a shopping thing, and I'll kind of get into that a little bit more. Reached out to any store manager I talked to at any store, told me I'd have to get like basically clearance through media relations at the home office, which I called home offices. I got the runaround. Most of them, when you call the number that they give you to call, there isn't even an option to get to media relations. So you have to pretend like you're an upset customer or do that option, get to somebody who can't help you. Then they got to transfer you to somebody else. Then you sit on hold for 10, 20 minutes, half hour. And then they come back to you and then they tell you, well, yeah, it's too soon or there's not enough time to get that cleared, blah, blah, blah. So we know for next year, we'll do the same thing next year, only I'll reach out to them much sooner. And on top of that, they may even match up to a certain dollar amount. In fact, one of the Walmart store manager in town here said that, too bad it was so late because she'd already used all her donation money, but she could have donated or matched up to $500. So we could add another $500 on that if we would have got a full $500. Even if it was $100, $200, $50, whatever, that could have and would have been added. So doing good. Oh man, awesome, Mike. I appreciate you for being here, brother. Well, if you're a friend of Jim's. Welcome. I'll give you a little wrench here as well. So it just means you basically have your own power in this chat. Most people that have been around or have been here or know someone that I can respect quite a bit, we just give that to them so everybody kind of feels like they're part of something, right? Some channels, if we had 1,000 people in here at one time, we would probably not be modding every single person, and we would have mods to control, trolls that pop in, whatever. You got people that have no lives that sit at home, sit in the basement, that literally try to destroy communities, channels, etc. But as long as you have mods that are on top of it, they don't do anything. You basically get rid of them. They try to say some racial or political or some BS crap, and we just get them out of here. We don't put up with it. we're a positive, pushing forward community here. So again, welcome, man. Victor, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Anyone else I'm missing? We got Triple T up in the building. Good to see you, my man. Hope you're doing well. But going back to that real quick, if next year we'll start it a lot earlier so we can do it. But you guys, I posted the tweet with the picture showing the donation, the amount for Toys for Tots. Again, the video is coming. Now, it's kind of funny because I was a little worried because when I did it and I recorded the video to make a clip for the video that we're going to be dropping on the channel whenever it's done being edited by my editor. When I did the donation, I entered the dollar amount in. Like normally it would say like thank you, because I had to switch the screen off so I didn't dox myself, entering all my card information in, name, etc. And when I went back and it said thank you for your donation, it took them a while for them to send me an emailed, because I was checking my email to see if I could pull it up to show the dollar amount, whatever, and I didn't get anything. I didn't get the email receipts until like half an hour later. But then that's when I posted it on Twitter just to confirm, to make sure everybody saw that each and every single dollar of that went to that. So again, I can't thank Greg. I can't thank Matt Murray, John Doe. He goes by on chat sometimes. Jason Edwards, Tom T. Joby One had a couple cards. I'm trying to think of who else. There was a couple other people that put up some stuff, and I'm going to forget them. And then each and every one of you, right, that was there supporting anybody that bought anything, etc. So you guys all rock, man. Shaw, what's up, buddy, man? Good to see you. You had a big old box head your way to Canada. I think that ran me like $35 to ship. It was like one of those longer, I put them in one of those longer baseball card boxes, you know, and then team bagged as many together in top loaders and stacked them. You had like 4 stacks in one of those longer white card boxes, if you will. But I think to Canada it was like $35 or something crazy, because it was, I don't remember how many pounds. But you got, I don't know how long it takes to get to Canada, but it's on its way to you, my friend. It's been on its way to you since last week. Dropped that stuff off. So, but yeah, man. No, man, you don't know me, dude. No, don't worry about it, man. We might just have to look at, I mean, I'm not trying to make any money on shipping ever. We might just have to look at that in the future. Like, stacking is fine and cool, because, especially to Canada, because we're not, it's expensive either way. We might just have to look at adding just a few bucks just to cover some of that. But I'm always usually covering a little bit anyway, right? Because everybody in the US, I only charge $3, and usually it's, and I use pirate ship. On the cheapest end, it's like maybe $3.86 or $3.60 or something, but it's usually $4.50, $5. So I usually cover some of that cost anyway, which I don't have a problem with, right? I haven't changed my shipping rates, at least US shipping rates, since I've been doing it at $3. So it is what it is, man. I just like to help out where I can within the community. You know, I know everybody's got bills, they got things, you know, work is jobs. Maybe some people are struggling to have a job right now, or push through a job. So I'm also going to look into getting Pro box. Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Oh, that's cool. That'd be awesome as well. What's up, Mark, man? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. Merry Christmas. Well, it's almost Christmas. We're closing in, right? I can really tell, too, on my end with work in the industry I'm in, the automotive industry. Like, I still sold a couple items today, but this week has, I mean, it's been all right for Christmas week, closing in on Christmas week. But I can definitely tell that Christmas is almost here. People are, you know, already off of work. Businesses are already shutting down. I mean, etc. I get a lot of, any calls I had that, like, today in the last day or two, I've pretty much been getting pricing, plan to do something here first of the year, right after the first, you know, and that's where a lot of businesses get budget money again and whatnot for them to be able to you know, buy and fix vehicles. So, but that would be cool, man. Yeah, getting a PO box, that wouldn't be bad. So, and again, I want to thank Amy for everything that she's done with the auctions and the countdowns and whatnot. We got my man Nate up in here, the Bull Nate. Nate's, we got to figure out when we're going to get that schedule, but we're going to do an in-depth with Deafness with Nate here sometime, probably right after the first of the year. So we'll have that coming along. Again, I'm going to continue to be focusing on the in-depths. If anybody wants to be interviewed or anybody has like anything, cool story or something they want to share, let me know. I think for the 2022 year, another one of my goals with the channel is going to be, we're going to continue to push the podcast every single Monday, once we get past the holidays. But another thing is going to be to do almost like kind of like what we did on we used to do on Sunday nights for a while, like Def Hobby Central, like just a hobby chat, whatever, where it's not specific, but it's hobby and community related, where like people can just hop on, like we'll do it through StreamYard. And it doesn't have to be necessarily podcasty type to where you have to like really have an idea of what's totally going on. You know, it's more people can ask each other questions, get on there. Kind of maybe similar to Hobby Hotline, but not really. Like just more like a community hangout where people can, you know, like they can come on and you connect. I can send you a link. You can pop on and we can just chat and BS and whatever, you know, because I think anytime we do those, there's quite a few people that enjoy them, that really like them, right? So, and again, like me and Guns talk about this all the time, really trying to get the community back where it used to be, right? Again, it's growing, but yet it's slowed down. And I think part of that is as we grow, you know, there's more and more people that kind of build or have their own nights where they do things too, to where, you know, now they used to hang out with us and now maybe that night they're doing an auction or doing breaks or doing whatever. And that's cool. That's perfectly fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But it would be cool to get the people back like where we used to be, man. You guys remember like we used to auction nights, we would get 70, almost 100 people in some nights. Like it was insane. We used to, I mean, it was crazy, right? And then I took a big break and then just we went flat. No, I appreciate you. That's awesome. Doing okay. Just making daughter's doing good. Yeah, Nate's been a great addition with the podcast. Can't thank him enough for all his efforts each and every week. He shows up. He puts his time in. And again, guys, please make sure if you're not subscribed, check out his channel. He does a lot of other cool content as well. He puts some vlogs together. He does some reaction videos, etc. So, and yeah, let's keep pushing him. Let's try to help build him up as well. Does a great job. I think he's somewhat good on the algorithm. That's, I think, the issue we're having with this channel is we got on a wave a long time ago and then we just fell off when I took a break. Like that wave was like, remember when we were doing the We Grow Together stuff? Like, damn, that was like we went from like 300 or 600 subs to like 1,500 or 1,800 subs, like in like 4 or 5 months or something. It was something crazy. Like it was just a quick, and like that was when things were booming. And now it's kind of like it's hard to recoup that. It's hard to get back to that. But we'll get there. We will get there. We appreciate everyone that does show up, everybody that does hang out. Again, guys, I do want to do like a New Year's stream, like a New Year's Eve, like at midnight, like rip a cool box of cards, maybe like Mosaic basketball or something. I did Mosaic football last year, the hobby Mosaic football last year. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on. But the big thing, guys, like again, next for rolling into 2022, is really going to be the consistency thing that I like to push each and every year. The positivity, like I've been trying to look at the last few years. And, you know, like trying to come up with other things, like being more consistent with the in-depths once we get them rolling again. Doing the hobby hangout, like where we do it through StreamYard and people can pop in whenever they want. You know, we can have 4, 5, 6 Brady Bunch, whatever you want to call it. Have a bunch of people on the screen. I think we can have up to like 10 or something through StreamYard, through the StreamYard I have. So definitely be cool. Yeah, there we go. Looks like we already had a fun one coming through here. So that's how we do. We just get rid of them and move on and move forward. So and again, I'll continue to be breaking Triple Diamond Sports Breaks. Shout out to them for giving me that opportunity. It's gonna be a building curve, right? Because they come from like the Facebook side of things, which is fine, which is cool. That's kind of their baby. That's where they came from. And you know, I'm from like that YouTube/Twitter side, which is kind of a whole different side. So, but again, they use Restream over there. We have the chat up so we can see everybody between all chats. So you guys, anytime you want to come check up on me on a Thursday night when I'm over at, just go over to Triple Diamond Sports Breaks, and you see your boy over there Thursday nights breaking with them. We pulled some pretty nasty stuff last week. Looking forward to tomorrow night. Tomorrow night should be a cool, fun night over there. Right before Christmas, right? People may be wanting to spend a little Christmas money, or they get the go-ahead from their wife to buy a personal box of something or whatever, and hopefully rip some magic, if you will. What up, Jay Bird? My man, Jay Bird. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, dude. Hope you're doing well, bud. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, and again, guys, just what do you guys got for me, man? You guys got any questions in the chat or anything that you have for me about future, anything? It was Zoe's birthday yesterday, so shout out to my girl Zoe. She got spoiled yesterday. She got beyond spoiled, right? Already, I think, passed out. Back up before we go to bed. But Drew, what up, buddy, man? Good to see you, dude. Hope you're doing well, man. You guys got anything for me at all? Anything at all? Give you a little bluey there, Drew. Rolling with the punches. Just rolling with the punches. Did they have a good birthday? Yes. Got absolutely spoiled. Absolutely. She always does. I'm thinking, she's never really had like a lounging bed, like, because she has like, really, I call it her couch right now. I'm going to get a different couch, like a sectional setup, but that's another thing. Furniture is hard to get right now. Couch I have in here right now is pretty much her couch. So she's either always on the couch, laying on the couch, or she just goes to the bed and she lays down. But think about getting her one of those, like a nice big fluffy, any mattress thing or whatever it is, dog bed, if you will, I guess. Collection just wasn't feeling anymore. Timmy, triple T. Let me touch on that as well. I'll be honest with you, man. I got to that point too. That's really why I took a break. Like, I had taken a break for a while. Like, there was really that break time that I had taken, and I was kind of in that same boat. I'll be 100% honest with you, man. I was kind of getting burnt out. The way things were going, the prices, not being able to walk to a Walmart or Target, walk in and just grab like a blaster whenever you wanted to, like you used to be able to do. A lot of those things threw me off, pricing, etc. And I talked to Jimmy. Me and Jimmy had talked. Jimmy was kind of in the same boat I was as well, that you were in, like just wasn't feeling it, right? And I think we found out that we just had to learn to adapt, right? We had to learn to take a different angle in the hobby. And it's kind of like what I always recommend to people when they say, what do I do if I can't afford to buy product, or I can't afford to buy like boxes anymore, or I can't find product at the retail stores? Well, then you start focusing more on your singles, right? Or your players that you PC. Maybe you buy them on eBay. You take collecting a different angle. As much as we like to enjoy ripping packs and products and boxes, sometimes that's not in the cards, right? If money doesn't If money's not there, if product's not there, etc., right? Or the price is just too much and you're just not going to pay those price tags even if you have that money. I understand that. Because it's been rare. Like, I've bought boxes over this last year, but it's been a lot less than it has been in the past just because of pricing. And I'm just not driving it, not feeling it. But you got to take a different angle, got to take a different approach, and you got to still stay connected where, unless you're seeing something different even within the community per se, like the community or communities you're a part of, you got to just stick with that community or communities unless you see something off or something wrong there, and just change your angle on how you collect. I guess that's the best advice I could give to someone. Again, I was there. I was ready to kind of turn it off too. Looking to possibly add more hobbyist content. Yeah, Nate, I think it'd be awesome, man. You do a really good job in those vlog videos. Again, I think I've wanted to do that for the past few years, and I'm finally kind of moving in that direction. Hopefully this video around the whole Toys for Tots thing that I have getting edited and done by somebody, hopefully I'm happy with what they do, and then I can start sending them clips. I can record stuff throughout the week, and then they can make a weekly vlog or an every other week vlog or something, and give you guys that on top of everything else. That's kind of one of my goals for 2022, because that's another issue I think we have with not growing much or getting much growth, is that everything we do is live, right? And live videos they're not recommended to people, right? Unless you have the notifications on or whatever, YouTube doesn't recommend your live stream to anybody. And after it uploads. Like, where an uploaded video, it's tagged properly and you got things in there and whatever, and you're doing different things, that attracts more people, more viewers, more subscribers, etc. So it's very hard to grow when you're just always doing straight live stream. Upload videos are where you're found. That's why a lot of people they'll upload a video every single day for a while, for months in a row, and then they'll hit the algorithm wave. Because again, it's all about finding the algorithm or hitting that algorithm wave, like my man Striker Breaks did, man. He got on that thing and his channel just shot up because he was being recommended. He was being found everywhere. Bradley, what up, man? Good to see you, man. Merry Christmas to you as well. It's close. We're almost there, right? Jay's Mix, what up, buddy? Give you a little bluey as well. You guys are all good to me here. Bradley as well. Merry Christmas to you guys, man. I hope everybody's doing well. Happy birthday. I appreciate the happy birthday to Zoe as well. But yeah, Nate, continue to work on those, man. When you put your videos together, I like those. I like watching them. I worked at a pet wholesaler. Get a bed. I recommend their pet. Okay. Yeah, Jim, I'll check it out, man. Sure. Elson, what up, man? Cards today. Good to thank you. That should be. No problem, man. No problem at all. I appreciate you. Thank you for all you do. And all your help as well. Like that idea for sure. No, yeah. Still do live streams. Don't I personally, that's why I've always done live streams. I very rarely do uploaded videos. I always tell everybody in the community, and I always told them, if I upload a video, usually you want to watch it if you want to try to be involved in a giveaway, because that's usually when I'd be doing it in the past, and I didn't do it that often. But I need to do more uploaded videos as well, right? I'm still going to do the same lives. We're still going to do the Playmaker podcast Monday nights. Still going to be doing the auctions that are live. But I want to do some things that are also on a weekly basis or whenever, that are more like an upload video, because that'll help the channel more. 40 play ball set. Nice, man. Yeah, see, Timmy T, you found a way. You found a niche. You found something to get into. And you did you hit a lot of that vintage wave before the vintage started creeping up as well? Hopefully you did. Save some money. Oh, no problem, Jays. I hadn't seen you in here for a while. I just usually I give people it when I see them. Like, you've been around for long enough, and I see you pop in. I just haven't seen you for a while. I know people are busy and go watch a Christmas movie. All right, Mark. Merry Christmas, man. I hope you have a good Christmas, buddy. Thank you, bud. Take care. What's up, Scotty? How you doing, man? Good to see you, buddy. We're just kind of hanging out, man, chatting it up. I was a little late to this because I was having difficulties with the computer and I lost one of my cams, so I'm using my brake cam as my face cam right now. This is a little interesting, but it's all good. It works. I'm hoping the potential job calls me Christmas. All right, man. Joel, well, you got a job in the works. That's good, man. Any positive vibes? Yeah, man. Positive vibes your way. Hopefully you land that job. And hopefully it's a job that you're going to be somewhat happy with, right? I mean, work's work. But like I always tell everybody, if you're not happy, no matter what it pays, it's probably not worth it, right? Like, did I tell you? I'm sure I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell this story anyway, just because I feel like it. It's Christmas time. People looking for a job. Has a good message, I feel. Some of you may have already heard this before. But the job that I'm in right now, I've actually I worked for, it's my buddy's business. I worked for him like a while back for a while, but I became almost like not only running the business, but I became like also his assistant, and I wasn't getting paid to be his assistant. So I was like driving him to Mayo Clinic, which is like 45 minutes to an hour from here. And I have to get up at 6 a.m., do that, and then manage the company with like my laptop, cell phone at Rochester Mayo, going around to different offices, different buildings, different levels, etc. Parking his Hummer that he had at that time that had higher wheels on it, which didn't clear most parking ramps. And it's in Rochester by the Mayo, which is hard to find a parking spot to begin with, unless you go on a ramp. So I ended up leaving. I ended up just leaving because I was just fed up. Because I was like, dude, look, I'm not you're my good friend. I'm not your assistant. I work for your business. That's what I do. So I went and I found a job at well, it was called Tri-State Bobcat. And they actually had 3 locations. And the location that was closest to me had just moved in. It used to be an old bowling alley. Like, it was a huge bowling alley. Well, they bought, because the bowling alley closed down years ago, they bought the building and they revamped everything. And they had a bunch of like, because there was a parking lot and stuff. So the back area they could put all the machines that they were selling, like the inventory in the back room, like where the bowling alleys were. They ripped all that out. And it had, like, went down like a lower level. It's all cement because of where the lanes were. And like they had one half was like a warehouse to hold all the parts, and then the other half was like a mechanic. You know, it would fit like 10, 12, 15 Bobcats or what have you, and they had like 7, 8 different mechanics, diesel mechanics, you know, earth moving mechanics on during each day. And then they sold all the parts for these Bobcats, but they also sold Toro commercial equipment. And then they picked up this line called Avant, which was from Finland. It was like a earth moving, very light on the grass. Like, it didn't leave marks on the grass. And these machines were telescopic. They were loaders. They had over 200 different attachments to do just about anything and everything. And so when I went and basically sent him my resume and stuff, like, I interviewed the first time with the owner, and he was like, yeah, we definitely want to hire you. I want you to interview with my son because he's kind of like the whole, you know, like the co-owner or whatever. And we got to figure out where we want to put you in what position, because you have the management background, you have inventory background, you have a ton of sales background, and you can do internet stuff. Because I'd worked with my buddy setting up the website, doing web pages. I kind of learned how to do all that because I always like to pick up on things anytime I can. And so I went back in and interviewed, and so I'm calling him. I'm like, hey guys, so second interview went good. Like, hey, so when can I start, or what's going on here? And they're like, well, yeah, we don't know what we want to do. We don't know if we want you to be like an inventory manager, if we want you to be sales, outside sales, what? So like, we'll just come in Monday or whatever. So I get in there Monday. They're like, here's what we're gonna do. The whole back room, they had moved everything from their other location like 5 miles away. and they just threw everything in the warehouse area. And you could barely even get to the computer. And they would have drop-offs from like UPS, parts from Bobcat, trailer drop-offs, semi-loads of boxes of parts inside of them. They're like, hey, you got to, we want you to get this organized, get this cleaned up, and then we're probably going to have you train in whoever we hire for inventory down the road here after winter and after it's cold. And then we're going to we'll have you do sales or whatever. So I get everything organized, get it straightened up. We hire somebody. I train them in, etc. We get it all done. So then they first were like, all right, we're going to have you be our Toro commercial sales guy. I'm all right, cool. Sell a couple big deals right away or whatever. And then they end up finding like a guy, this older guy who had retired. He'd owned like a smaller hardware store like 40 minutes from where we were. And he used to sell Toro, the smaller lawnmowers and stuff, but he knew Toro. So they hired him on, and they said, we're going to put him in as a Toro guy. We're actually going to make you our Avant, which was the product that came from Finland or whatever. Well, they had a U.S. location in Chicago. So they flew me out to Chicago for like 3 days to do training and whatever. And man, I remember that. We went out and partied, like all the people that were training and all like the people from Avant and stuff, like the U.S. general managers and etc. Like we had like this party bus, like they took us like some bowling alley and whatever. Like I remember the next day, I was like in the bathroom, like puking in the morning, like trying to make myself feel better to get through it. But I ended up pushing through. So we went and did that. They made me the outside sales rep. I had a company truck, company trailer, had company gas card, company cell phone, you know, everything, right? Great deal. Great, whatever. And my goal was, or my job was to go around and demo these things. I would literally, in nice dress shirts and whatever, even in the summer in like 90-degree weather, 95-degree weather, I would load up machines, chain them to the trailer, and then I would go out and I could go 3-4 hours sometimes out, maybe stay somewhere for a night if there was like a place I was going far out to show a company or demo it or whatever. I would demo these machines. I would sell them. I would send flyers everywhere, whatever. But the owner, like, he had all of his other sales guys that were with him that worked for this company. Remember, he had 3 locations. So he had like a team of like 6 or 7 other guys. They had all been with him for like 12, 15, 18 years. He'd owned this company for a long time. And I was the new guy, right? I was the new sales guy. They had a lot of people like front desk people, etc., come in and out, whatever. And he would always ride me. He would always be on me about shit. And I was always constantly selling. I was always constantly building, doing demos, etc., like getting all these business cards from these places, selling shit. Like even selling shit I wasn't even selling, because when I go demo it, it just wasn't for them. But they're like, hey, can you get me this Toro walk behind, or can you get me this Bobcat or whatever? So I was always selling shit. You know, I just wasn't always selling the Avant because it wasn't what was for every single customer, every single company. And I got like the big cities. I got a bunch of the cities involved. I got the city of Minneapolis. I got their account, which they were trying to get forever. I sold them a bunch of machines, and then they started coming to us for everything. So I landed like the biggest account in Minnesota, and still wasn't good enough for this guy. Like this dude was just fucking riding me. He would ride me. And I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you this story because I'm telling you about working for a place that you're not happy with, and it wears on you. And every morning I'd wake up, when it was a work day, I'd wake up and my stomach would just turn. And I'd be thinking to myself, driving to work, is this the day I'm going to go tell him to go F himself? Because that's how I felt like I was being treated. Like, it's not something I normally do. It's not the way I am. But if somebody's, like, literally treating me like crap all the time and not appreciating what I do and thinking, like, whatever, you know, like, screw it, right? So I remember the morning. Woke up like any other morning the last 3-4 months, stomach turning, etc. Is this the day I'm going to tell him to go F himself? Get to work in the morning. The first hour or so, we would literally, all the sales guys would check our computers, check our emails, go through all our stuff, you know, set up appointments if we have to, whatever. And then we usually, all of us guys would be on the road, demoing, selling, driving around, finding new businesses to drop off flyers, talk to owners, buyers, etc. And I had just done a huge deal. Like, and we'd do trade-ins. We'd trade in stuff like Toro older equipment, and we would take stuff that was 15, 20 years old. We wouldn't give them a ton of money for it, but we had actual reps that worked for each one of these actual manufacturing companies. They would always go with us, all sales guys. And our guy John was our Toro rep, dude. He went with me to basically appraise all these pieces of equipment that we're trading in. It was a huge deal, right? And this had happened like 2 weeks earlier. So he walks over to my desk, and he's got a landscape catalog, like Minnesota landscape catalog. And it's got all these flyers and all these advertisements for companies, landscape companies, etc. And he's like, have you demoed or reached out to this? He was just going through every single company. And I'd be like, yeah, I have. No, that's on my list. Or, yeah, I have. I have a demo set up with them, blah, blah, blah. And he would tear out every page of every company that, I hadn't talked to or whatever. And there's a lot of landscape companies in Minnesota alone. There's probably, 300-400 the whole state. And yeah, I'm like, I had a whole day lined up. I had demos. I had everything lined up for this day. And I'm like, hey, do you want me? I can go ahead and I can go and, if you want me to, I can go and do all these and change my whole day. It's like, no, just go ahead and continue to do what you were going to do. Whatever. Just try to get with them whenever. Like, all right, cool. So I get loaded up, get in the truck. I'm pulling out of the parking lot with the truck and trailer and the equipment I'm about to go demo for the day. And he calls the cell phone. And anytime he calls your cell phone, he doesn't wait till you get back to the office. He's pissed off at you about something. So I answer the phone. I'm like, what's up, Bill? He's like, who the F gave you these numbers for these trade-ins on this so-and-so order? And I said, well, Bill, I said, John went with me to appraise the equipment. He's like, does John work for Tri-State Bobcat? And I said, well, no. But he's the one that's supposed to go with us to get the numbers and appraise them. And he was always very lenient on shit. In fact, the owner would tell me most times to sell the equipment under what we bought it for, because the money was in the parts and the maintenance. And once you sell them the equipment, like, we were one of the main ones around, so everybody had to come to us anyway to service them, unless they were going to ship some big machine off somewhere far. So he didn't care about making money on the machine up front. He knew that in the parts and the maintenance, servicing, all that shit is where the money was. So it's not like he was a guy that was big on, oh, yeah, we got to make a bunch of profit on shit and whatever. And anything we didn't sell or we couldn't sell that was used in trade-ins, he sent off to auction things. Like, he would send truckloads off all the time. We had so much equipment going in and out and around, it was crazy. And I'm like, well, John gave me the pricing. And he's like, the whole John thing will work for you. And he's just pissed off, right? And I'm already ready to say F him. And so I said to him, Bill, let me ask you a question. He said, what? I said, do you even want me to work for you? And he's like, there's a pause, and he goes, I don't know yet. Go do what you had going on today, and then we'll talk when I get back. And I said, nah, that's all right. And I hung up on him, and I just turned the whole truck and trailer around, pulled back in the parking lot, parked the fucking thing, grabbed anything that was mine, personal shit out of the truck, grabbed his company's cell phone, took the gas card out, gave him the keys, shit. And I walked down, because his office was all the way in the end of the building. I walked down, and he's not in his office. So then I go to his son's office, and me and his son got along great, man. We had a lot of good times together. We'd go to trade shows out of state. Me and him would party and hang out. He was around my age. Like, me and him clicked big time, but his dad was just an asshole. And I walk in his son's office. His son's sitting at his desk, and he's sitting on his son's couch. And I go up to him, and I hand him the shit. And he's like, what is this? And I said, I quit. And I turned over, and I looked at his son, and I said, I appreciate the opportunity. And, like, his son's, like, kind of, like, shocked. Like, what the fuck's going on? And I just walked out, and I left. The moral of the story is, like, I had no plan. I had no other plans, right? I have kids. I have a family. I had no other plans. Some may say it's a stupid thing to do. like no job planned and just doing that. I mean, I didn't plan on quitting that day, but I had that feeling for months. Like probably maybe should have been looking for another job and having one lined up and being ready, but I knew that with my resume and all the shit I have, like it's not hard. I could go work anywhere if I absolutely got desperate and needed to, whatever. But moral of the story is don't go and don't continue to drill and bust your ass over a job that you're never being appreciated for, that you feel sick every morning you wake up wondering if this is the right thing, what the hell is going on, why am I doing this, right? Because there's always something else out there. And sometimes it takes the higher risk, or it takes that almost scared of what the hell am I going to do now type shit, like really, really wake you up and get you to a new point and get you somewhere better. And I think if you ask most people that have been in situations with jobs they haven't liked, and sometimes they've just had to go tell the person screw you or leave or quit or whatever. And I'm not a quitter, but at the same time, I'm not going to work at a company that doesn't appreciate me when I'm busting my ass. You know, if I was not showing up to work, if I was late all the time, if I was sick, if I didn't do my shit, if I wasn't out actually working and I was just screwing around all the time, a little different story, man. Like, makes sense. Ride my ass, get on me. But when I'm busting my ass, when I'm selling shit, when I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, there's no reason to be like that. It's just like I'm not appreciated. So why do I want to be there? Why do I want to work there? And that's something you should ask yourself too if you're in any position or situation. And what ended up happening is, like my guys that I Triple Diamond Sports Breaks, right? The brothers own a restaurant or a bar, so I would bar back a couple nights a week, bartend when I could fill in or whatever, help out, and then I would bounce on the weekends because it would be like a nightclub. They had a DJ before, you know, this is years ago before the pandemic and shit. But I would do that, and then eventually what ended up happening is my buddy again, one of my best friends that I kind of split from because I wasn't going to be his assistant. For some reason, I went to his house for something just off the wall. We were just bullshitting or something. And he's like, what are you doing now or whatever? And I told him I had just left that not too long ago and blah, blah, blah. And he had some people, and he kept bringing in people to try to help him that he knew to help run the company. And nobody could do it. Like, they were all struggling. They couldn't do shit. Like, it took 4 of them to do what I was doing, like myself. And he's like, man, I could really use, even if you do part-time, you can work from home and all that shit now. You don't have to whatever. And I was like, cool, yeah, as long as I don't have to show up here every day and I don't have to take you to appointments and I'm not your assistant, blah, blah, blah. Like, cool. So then I went from like basically like part-time and then doing the other shit to just myself now. Everybody else, we didn't need them. Most of them did it to themselves. In fact, I'll tell you another little story that links to this. It's kind of story night from your boy Deafness. I got a lot of stuff. What's up, Jeff? Jesse. What's up, Jesse? I guess a guy you would call a friend. What's up, Chris Bolton? Merry Christmas, man. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I guess Austin. What's up, Austin? How you doing, man? I guess someone you would call or would have called a friend of ours. He was actually, his name was Adam. He was the one that was working for my buddy as well. And we actually met this Adam kid through, he was dating my buddy's like cousin, his female cousin. And that's how we met. And he was kind of like us. So like we all kind of clicked. We were into the shit. Like, you know, we were all training MMA back then. He was like, oh, cool. You guys are in MMA. You guys do that, whatever. Yeah, I love watching the fights and blah, blah, blah. And like, so we just all clicked. Like we would hang out. We all kind of became friends. Well, he got addicted to like heroin, and he was actually sticking himself. And we know because my buddy said when he showed up one day to get his check, he would always wear sweatshirts and long sleeve shirts in the summertime when it was 90 degrees, and he'd wear them down. And one day he forgot to pull them down, and he had them pulled up when he came in the house, and he had track marks and bruises everywhere in his forearms. And my buddy asked him, dude, what happened to your arms? And we already knew. We already knew what he was addicted to heroin and shit. And he's like, just trying to push him down. He's like, me and Danny, and that was his wife that he had then married. He's like, we were wrestling. Well, she was like 90 pounds. And he was like a beast. Like, he was 5'11". He was like a bodybuilder. He was like 260, 280 pounds. Like, no way she would do that to you, right? We knew what he was doing. We knew what was going on. Well, when I was working part-time with him, he kind of tried to screw me over in a sense. We have a phone system that like the customer can type a number in of whatever they're calling for, and like 5 would be like shipping and customer service. So he would see the calls come through, and then if he was on a phone call or if he didn't want to take a call, he could just deny it, and then it would forward to my phone, because I was like the second person, because I just came back. I was working part-time. Well, little did he know that a lot of people that would press 5 for shipping were actually calling for shipping quotes, not just tracking on their order. So he thought he was screwing me by sending everybody the 5 calls, and I was turning most of those 5 calls into sales and selling shit. And he would get pissed off because he would find out like how much I made for the week, and I'd be making as much or more than him because I'd be selling more than him. And he couldn't figure out why, because he was really trying to fuck me over. And then we found out that his wife at the time, which he had broke up with my buddy's cousin a long time back. That's when we first met. They were dating. But he got married to this girl, and he had her helping out, which is fine. That's in the contract or whatever if you want them to. But she had no clue. She wasn't supposed to be taking any sales calls. I was supposed to get sales calls if he couldn't take it. And we found out like from a recording. My buddy checked some of the phone call recordings, and some guy had called one day and was like, "Hey, I'm looking for a transmission for a so-and-so pickup truck." And she's like, "Oh yeah, TR 3650 manual," and that's like in a Mustang. Like, she had no clue what she's talking about. And the dude's like, no, I think it's like an MV 4500 is what I'm looking for. So he's like, "Why the hell are you doing this? Like, you can't do that shit." Well, finally we found out he was fucking like, because he was so addicted to heroin and some shit, he was like fucking like the numbers up like for his check. Like, he was saying shipping was like completely off. He'd like 50, 75 bucks on this order, 25 on this order, 30 on this order. So he's giving himself like an extra 500 bucks a week, like basically stealing, right? And that's what happens sometimes. People, they get to be fucking super shady. So we pretty much caught him. My buddy tried to ask him about the shipping. How are you getting your freight quotes? How are you figuring this out, etc.? And when he asked him, my buddy texted me. He said, "Yeah, he didn't really have a good answer." And I go, "Well, that's funny, because he just texted me asking me how I figure it out by Friday." And I told him exactly how I do it and what I do. I reach out to the distributors by Wednesday for all the orders that are already in, give them the zip codes, tell them what, send me the freight quotes, and then we just work the rest out each sale up till Friday morning whenever we're done. And so then the next day after that, he basically resigned. Well, that dude that was once our friend that became a heroin addict, we then found out about 6 or 8 months later that some girl he knew that was also addicted to heroin had hit him up and was looking for some. And this girl's friend was with when they met up, and she gave him the money or whatever. And then they were at this girl's friend's house, the other chick's house, when he stopped by to drop the shit off. Well, he dropped the shit off. She saw him drop it off to her. There was text messages, all sorts of communication through phone access that the people found out later. The girl went in the bathroom. She never came out. She overdosed. And he sold the shit to her. So he, at first they had basically interviewed him or whatever, the police did, and he was released like the first time. But then they started digging into the phone records, etc., and everything, and then they talked to the friend or whoever. And so then he was serving, or he was facing up to like 25, 30 years, some shit. And he was convicted. Like, they fucking convicted him of it. And then I don't know if it was the parents like had a change of heart, like the girl that overdosed, because he didn't force it. He didn't force it on her. She reached out to him. She asked him for it. He just basically should have never done it, but he got it for her. He gave it to her. So he had already served like a year or so up to like the trial. And what ended up happening is like 5 months after that, when he was back in jail, prison, whatever, like, he had wrote the family a letter, remorse letter, whatever. And apparently they had a change of heart or feeling, and they basically reached out to whoever, the courts and whoever, and said, we don't feel this is right, that he should have to serve, 20 plus years of his life for something that he basically gave to my daughter, who had reached out and asked him for, right? Because again, it's not like he hit her up and said, hey, you want to buy some heroin, blah, 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 blah. No, he didn't do that. She reached out to him. Still, he should have never done it. He should have said no, regardless if he's an addict or not. Do that on his own time, do what he needs to do. But just, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, crazy, crazy how much shit in life can change and how different people can become, right? I mean, again, I was a pain pill addict. I never stuck a needle. I never did meth. Wasn't a heroin user, which is kind of shocking because a lot of people that get kind of addicted to pain pills get addicted to heroin a lot of times. You hear that often. And I think that's the problem with him, is he was as well, and I don't think he got the high that he was looking for anymore or whatever. But see, then again, I decided enough was enough and it was time to get clean. Whereas with him, he was probably, he was still doing the getting high thing. And when I was getting help, when I was in treatment, and I didn't do shit with him. I mean, there might have been an occasion or two, like back when he was dating my buddy's cousin and shit, like where if they had some bikes or something, biking in or something, like might have been hanging out and maybe popped a couple or whatever for doing shit, like watching fights or whatever. But like me and him never really hung out like that. It's more my buddy that hung out with him. He was more of an acquaintance. Like, what up, Saucy? How you doing, buddy, man? Good to see you, buddy. Sorry, man. I'm just kind of ranting and raving. I'm just kind of sharing some stories, whatnot. Sharing some good old stories. So, giving you guys all blueies. Bolton, what's up, man? Bolton, I appreciate you, buddy, man. Appreciate you, man. I'm trying to catch up on some of this chat. So, why is the laziest guy always get the raise? Maybe because the family are connected. I guess the harder you work, the less they appreciate. You know what, Jesse? A lot of times that's so true, right? And I think part of that is because in so many places in this world and in so many areas, the people who do the most or the people who work their tails off the most are always expected to do more, right? The expectations are different. The expectations are always different. Guys, the type of conversations I have in a day-to-day with work probably is similar to a lot of what you guys do, depending upon what kind of people you deal with. And I love people. I love customers. But there are some customers, you know that old saying, oh, the customer's always right. They try to teach you that when you're young. That's the biggest BS in the world. But I'm going to tell you, man, like, because I got to deal with, like, the customer selling it, and then if there's an issue, I partially have to deal with it depending upon how bad or how good it goes, right? We have our distributors that have our warranty teams we have our technicians that deal with the warranty on the technician side. But then I get customers, like I had one earlier this week, and listen to this story. This is like somebody basically admitting that somebody's in the wrong, but yet they still are not okay with that. Like, shit just doesn't make sense sometimes. So this guy calls me, and I don't know. I would assume most of you, whether you know automotive, like I'm not saying anyone here needs to know transmissions or engines or transfer cases or anything about them, but I would assume that if any of you went and bought something like a transmission that was remanufactured with a warranty, that you then had a shop install, that you probably, if there was a problem at some point, you'd probably take it back to the shop, and then you'd probably reach out to where you bought it, like us or whoever, or you'd have your mechanic reach out and you'd try to figure out what's going on. Well, this customer in this shop did kind of. They called us, and so we started a warranty claim, and then our technician, our warranty techs, reached out to their tech and said, hey, pull the transmission out, pull the torque converter out, test them to see if the torque converter is bad or not. Just test it. Don't put a different one in. Don't go buy something else. Don't change anything. Do that, and then get back to us and let us know. Well, the technician reaches out like a month later and the other day and says, so we put a different torque converter in, and now everything's working fine, so we just need to be paid. And I get confirmation from my warranty department stating this is an unauthorized procedure that they've done. They've literally just got a torque converter, their own torque converter, and put it in this thing. We don't even know where they got this torque converter from. But apparently this vehicle is working now, so we should just pay them. And they said that's unauthorized. Like, they got no clearance from us to do that. They got no clearance from the technicians. Nobody told them they could. But yet they want us to pay them and take care of this warranty. And so they're like, you need to reach out to the vehicle owner because he wants a full refund. He wants to send it back and get a refund. And I'm like, well, that's already been installed. You can't get a refund once it's installed. You do the warranty. You go through the process. So I call the customer and I go, hey, Mike, it's Jeff. Heard you're having some issues on the warranty or something. Something about unauthorized. And he goes, well, I wouldn't say it's unauthorized. He goes, my technician took out the transit torque converter and he put another torque converter in, and my car's working out. We just need to be paid for the warranty. I said, Mike, who authorized your technician to put another torque converter, a different torque converter in your vehicle? He goes, well, nobody did. And I said, well, that would probably be where they're saying it's unauthorized, because if our technicians didn't and I didn't tell you that, then he just went ahead and did his own thing. He's like, so what are you telling me? Like, so you're not going to warranty it? And I said, well, Mike, how are we supposed to warranty this now that your mechanics went ahead and did his own thing? It sounds like your mechanic needs to be responsible for this. And there's a lot of shit we warranty and take care of. But there's some things that we just aren't going to do. And he's like, well, how can I mean, but now it works. We put the exact same kind of torque converter in there. I said, we have no clue what torque converter you put in there. And whether you did or you didn't get the torque converter from us. Well, I have to have this truck on, it's my company truck, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, that's great. But you know that if your technician would have got back to us from what he found when he took out what we told him to do, we could add a torque converter to you probably overnight it or that next day. You'd be on the road in the same amount of time, basically. And I'm like, so where's the disconnect here? Because I'm not understanding what else you want us to do. And he's like, well, let me just tell you something. This is a family friend that I had to save some money. And what I ended up doing is just ended up having him like do it to help me out. And I said, okay, so it's a family friend that's a technician that messed up. I said, so you need to go to this family friend. You need to tell him that he needs to be responsible because he never got any authorization. And if he's been in this business 40 years like you're telling me he has been, he's had to have been through these situations before and has to kind of somewhat know the procedure. Like, you just can't go do your own thing unless it's something he had done himself and he had built it and he's just going back and fixing whatever. I said, he only installed our transmission. And he goes, I can't go and tell, this is a family friend, so I can't go back and tell him that. I said, so Mike, you're telling me that your family friend technician messed up, but he's responsible because he did, but because he's your family friend, you're not going to go and tell him that? So what? So we're supposed to be responsible for something he did wrong? I'm not following this. He's like, well, I don't, and I'm like, Dude, Mike, you got me, man. I'm lost here, dude. You're literally telling me you know that he messed up, but he's a family friend, so you don't want to tell him that. You don't want him to be responsible for something he messed up because he's a family friend. Like, I don't know what else. I don't know what else you could tell somebody. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy how people think and how they just assume that anyone can do anything and everything is good. I see. Yes, you did, buddy. Merry Christmas, buddy. Guys, all right, Amy. Have a good night. Appreciate you popping in. That's right. That's a good line there, Saucy. Very good line. Fuckers. Yeah. You know what else is funny to me? Like, let's just talk about this for a minute, just in general, right? In the general vicinity of business, right? No matter what business, hobby business, card shop, transmission business, welding, heat and AC business, doesn't matter what it is, right? If Let me ask you guys this in the chat, okay? Let me ask you this question. If you're and honestly, I'll be honest with you guys, when I'm buying things or I'm doing things most times, if I'm going to get a service done, like an actual service done, I may check the reviews a little bit. But unless it's like Better Business Bureau, like where it's for sure regulated somewhat, where it can't just be people randomly that maybe just are against you or competition that are trying to be shady, or there's a lot of different things. Like in Google, anybody can leave a review, right? John Doe can be the name for the review giver, and they can just leave you a company bad review. But I always find it funny when customers will call, and that's fine if they want to do their due diligence and check reviews and whatever, and they're like, well, yeah, there's a couple bad reviews. A couple bad reviews. Okay. If there isn't a couple bad reviews for any kind of business, I question they do enough business, period. Because even if a company or a business is perfect, they will never please 100% of their customers. I don't care how good it is. If everything goes off with a hitch, everything's perfect, there is somebody out there, maybe not even having any problems or issues, but they're going to find a way to make sure that things weren't perfect. Things didn't go perfect. Or this or that, right? There are legit and why I say Better Business Bureau? Better Business Bureau is tough because people literally are only going to go to the Better Business Bureau if they truly are having an issue in most cases. So somebody that has a great experience rarely, one, is going to leave a positive review, and two, is for sure rarely going to leave a positive review on a Better Business Bureau. So you could be a company that's like us. We push out 40, 50 units a week, roughly. 40, 50 units a week. We've been doing this for how many years? And we have 7 or 8 bad reviews. I mean, I'm a numbers guy. If I'm to do the numbers, I would say that's fucking very, very, very low. But they're there. They should. And like I said, in reality, you don't want to. And let's make sure that everybody's understanding what I'm trying to say here. I'm not trying to say that if you start a business or you run a business, that you should be looking for bad reviews or wanting bad reviews. I'm stating that you will never satisfy 100% of the people you service or you help. It won't happen. And if you have, maybe you've serviced 5 people or 10 people over the course of a long period of time. things happen. Shit happens, right? In our industry, something could be delivered late, right? I had a listen to this great story. I had a younger kid, meaning he's old enough to buy. He's got a vehicle. He's fixing himself, probably in his mid-20s, maybe 30. I don't know. Couldn't by his voice, I would think he was in his mid-20s, early 30s, right? Last week calls me. He bought a remanufactured engine from us. I've been telling every single customer before they purchase an engine from us, because of how backed up and busy we are, that it'll be a minimum of 4 to 5 weeks before you see it. I say a minimum of 4 to 5 weeks. Minimum. He calls me last week. And he goes, hey, I got kind of a little bit of an issue or a problem. And I said, okay, well, what is it? What's going on? Well, nobody called me to tell me that my engine, because he had his engine shipped to a terminal location through the carrier because he didn't have a business to ship it to save himself money. So he was going to pick it up at the terminal once it got to that terminal closest to him. Save himself money because he didn't have a business to ship it to, which is fine. We do it all the time. Well, the carrier is supposed to call them because they get pissed off when shit's sitting there too long anyway, and they start charging storage fees when stuff's sitting at the thing. They have the customer's number. They're supposed to call them when it shows up there and say, hey, your so-and-so product's here. Come and pick it up. If you don't pick it up in X amount of days, we're going to charge you storage fees, right? They're supposed to do that when it gets there. I don't know when his engine's getting to a terminal 5-6 states away from me. I know when it ships when I pull his order up, but then again, we have so many orders going out. Unless I pull it up and look at it, I have no clue. So he goes, well, they didn't call me. And you said it was going to be in 4 weeks. And I had the tools to do the job and the space exactly 4 weeks, at that 4-week mark. And I said, wait a minute, hold on. And I pulled up his account. I looked at when he ordered it. And I said, you told me that the terminal once, because he then called the terminal because he hadn't heard anything. So he called them like 4 or 5 days later. And that's when he had then called me. And he goes, they said it was there since Monday. So I look back and I go, well, okay, so first you're trying to be mad at me because it wasn't there in 4 weeks. But according to the date that you bought this, and according to that date that you said it's there, that was exactly 4 weeks ago. So yes, it was within. And I said 4 to 5 weeks. But yes, it was there in 4 weeks. But nobody called me. You guys didn't call me. And I said, not my responsibility and not our responsibility to call you. It was the shipping company's responsibility to call you. And I'm surprised they didn't, because they don't want stuff sitting at the terminals. But some terminals are lazier than others. I said, what do you want me to do, sir? I said, do you want me to apologize for the shipping company not calling you? Because if that's what you want, I wasn't sarcastic about it at all. I was like very serious. And I said, if that's what you want, I am sorry that they did not call you when it showed up there. But it's there now. I'm like, I'm not sure what the issue is. And then he's like, he keeps going on. And I'm like, sir, I'm not sure what you want, where we're going with this. Like, what is the end game here? What is it exactly you want? Like, because I've already apologized for the shipping company. It's there. You can get it. You have proof that it's there. They even told you it's there. So it's not like we're scamming you. Like, what is it you're wanting? And then he starts saying, well, I just don't know. I don't know if I can trust your product now. And I said, you're telling me that you don't know if you can trust our product because the shipping company didn't call you? I don't know. How does that even correlate? How does that even go together? I'm like, dude, I don't. He's like, well, and I'm going to be out of town until after the 1st. I said, well, then we're just going to have to let it sit. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out after the 1st when you go to pick it up. It's like, well, and he just keeps, like, this was literally a half an hour phone call, which should have been a 3-minute phone call, which, again, shouldn't have even been a phone call at all, because he should have just, know that it was there and he could have went and got it. But yet it was our responsibility because the shipping company, when it got to the terminal, did not call him to tell him it was there. That's what I'm talking about, guys. That's a perfect example of somebody that will probably go leave negative feedback, yet it had nothing to do with us. It was there in time. In fact, it was at the beginning time frame of when I've been telling every single customer. Just, it's crazy, man. Chris, all right, buddy. God bless you too, man. Love you too, buddy. Stay safe and happy holidays as well. Satisfied customers don't leave reviews. That's exactly right, man. Well, some do. I won't say all. Some do. Some do. Some do, but not all. They're always weird. Family friends? Yeah. Yeah, they can be. Forwarding cars, it's yeah, I mean, that's why our industry is so busy right now. I'm in the automotive industry, like remanufactured stuff, and it hasn't stopped booming, and it's great. I'm not complaining, but you're getting a lot of weird customers. Weird customers. Shipping company doesn't call the day it arrives. Your product is. Yeah, they can't trust it, right? It can't be trusted. What up, Frank B? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. We're just hanging out, chatting, BSing, a little Christmas hangout, community hangout, if you will, because I know everybody's going to be busy here coming up in the next couple days. So we're just kind of saying what's up, saying Merry Christmas to each other. I'm sure I'll drop an upload video, but it won't be anything live. So there should be another video for those of you coming in sooner for the whole Toys for Tots thing, an upload video that is being edited as we speak by somebody. What up, B-Pats? Big pimpin', man. I got to get you that Bluey. Didn't see you sneak in there. How was your sale, man? I kept trying to check on you last night. I don't know what time you go live. I know I shared it out. Hopefully some people showed up. But I think I just got stuck on something. Then I was laying in bed and I just ended up passing out. So I kind of fell asleep a little early last night. Can't please no, and Bogarts, you're not going to. That's what I'm getting at. That was my point of the whole, like, when people, oh, you got a couple bad reviews. Honestly, I would hope so. Like the amount of business we do, because I'm a realist. Like, I know that you're not going to please everybody. Like, I know that. 100% not going to please everybody. Not at all. What up, buddy? Good. First client level. Yeah, sometimes people think I'm being too much of a smartass, like when I'm on calls, but I'm really not in most cases. And you know what's the worst is, like, you're on a phone call with someone and they can't hear you very well, and so you speak up and you talk louder, and then they're literally like, chill out, dude, like, or you're not gonna. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm just speaking up louder because you said you were having a hard time hearing me. I want to make sure you can hear me. Now all of a sudden I'm a bad guy or a dickhead or what. What up, Jason? How you doing, buddy? Oh, for sure, man. I wish I could have stayed longer. It was still during the work call hours. But, I mean, hopefully I got a couple of people in there. Those times, man, it's hard. It's very, very hard when you're live during those earlier hours because so many people are working still between that. So it's really hard to get people in there. But I'd advise next time you do a sale, try to do it, like, if you can, at some night or something more later in the evening. And honestly, man, and I'm gonna throw this out there to anybody. If anybody out there that doesn't have as big of a platform right now, whatever, like on YouTube or whatever, and they want to do like an auction or a card sale, we can always do it like through like StreamYard or something where we could both be on. But we could do it on my channel. But let me know ahead of time so we can like kind of market it and let people know, hey, in a week or so, so and so is going to be on selling a bunch of stuff. We could do like a StreamYard dual deal, and then you could actually. Like, I could BS with chat, you could BS whoever's on there, and you could be selling your cards. You know what I mean? So, just another idea, another thing to throw out there if anybody's ever interested, trying to move some stuff, and they're having a harder time getting a bunch of people in their sale at one time. Yeah, no, I know. You're probably just, nothing going on. Do it, see what happens. I get it. But don't get discouraged, I guess is what I'm saying, because of the time you were doing it at, because it's just harder to get people in. Don't be like, oh, shit, this went terrible because I only had a couple people tonight. Earlier in the day. It's the timing, man. It's all about time. Peaks and yeah, there you go. Oh, sometimes that's what you gotta do, man. Sometimes you just gotta keep pushing. Oh yeah, I got you, man. I got you. Or maybe like a weekend, like afternoon or something. You know, like if it ever works out, like a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon. You know, where it's like on a weekend. If it's during the daytime, weekend, probably a little more. Just trying to help out. That's not saying there's anything wrong with it. Again, you probably did it like just impromptu, like, hey, boom, I want to see what happens here. Cool, cool. I just don't want. I hate to see people get discouraged if they don't have a huge turnout or something when they do one. So I'm just kind of trying to throw in the stuff that, hey, don't get discouraged. Try it another time, hours or a different day or week. There you go, man. Bogart's gonna be having a sale tomorrow night around 8 o'clock. So I'll try to pop in with you, brother, man. Again, I break on Thursday night, so I will be breaking tomorrow night. On the triple diamond deal. So if I have time between my phone, if I'm not breaking constantly, pop in. But yeah, guys, for sure, man. Make sure to check out. Yeah, and if you guys aren't subbed up, if you aren't subbed up, both Jason Edwards and Bogarts, man. Jason Edwards was doing a little sale earlier. Again, Jason Edwards was the one that donated that basketball for the Toys for Tots auction. So again, thank you again. I was thanking all of you guys. I listed you guys earlier in the stream. But again, appreciate you. Thank you. Be dropping a video here soon. It's being edited for the whole Toys for Tots thing. A little message in there and etc. So excited for that. Not a problem, man. And if you guys ever want to drop your guys' links as well, that's another reason why I give all you guys a bluey. Like if you're apart, you've been around for a while, you guys can literally drop your links so that people can click on it quick to go and sub you to make it easy if they're not. I know sometimes you can by clicking on it, but people have to be mods. Yeah, if you guys want to ever post your guys' links for your channels, man, go ahead and do it. Yeah, it's gonna return on your birthday. That'll be awesome. A special little birthday deal. That's cool, man. Hey, man, Brad, I appreciate you, buddy, man. Thank you, dude. I'm just another guy, man. You know what? And again, like, there was a time where I let too much get to me, and I let negativity get the best of me, and used to do some more negative type stuff. And it's been a long time. It's been years. I've learned from my mistakes, right? Like I said, like I have somebody who told me one of my best videos ever was the one at the National when I was slamming my hand down and had too many drinks and was calling out people that were, doing whatever years ago. But I deleted that. That's not me, man. That's not who I am. That's not the person I am. So I just, like with everybody, man, I just tell you, try to push past all the BS and negativity and try to find something positive within the negative. There you go. Yeah, guys. Any of you guys ever want to drop links, man, you guys all should have the ability to do it by having the blues that allows you to post links. So I don't mind. I just don't want you spamming it. Like, just don't keep dropping the link like every 2 minutes. You can drop it if you're in here for an hour, like every 20 minutes or a half hour or whatever, a couple times. I don't care. But yeah, that's cool, man. Hoping everybody, trying to help everybody, man. Damn, I missed notification. Balls, I'm sorry, man. I was actually going to hit you up and see like a few and Nate's, and then wanted to just not a necessarily podcast, but just do like a StreamYard. We'd all BS like we are now, kinda, and just have you guys on as well, though. But oh, good. We'll do it again. We'll do it another time. Like I said, I want to start 2022. I want to have a night a week or every couple weeks where we do like hobby hangout podcast type crap where it's just people in the community or community podcast type deal where it's just get as many people on as we can and just they can come in, we give them the link and we all just hang out, right? I think that'd be awesome. I think that would be sweet. Super sweet. That's awesome, man. Yeah. Man, balls in the building. Oh, that's cool, dude. We're gonna shut her down here soon anyway. I didn't even think we'd be going this long. I thought it'd be like an hour. I kind of was ranting on, telling you guys some stories, which I enjoy doing. I really enjoy the story time, if you will. Always a good time. Every time is a good time. For sure. That's what Bogarts, I know, man. That's what that's really what I want to do, and I advise other people to do too, like on their channels. You know, maybe we don't do it once a week on this channel. Maybe we do it once every 2 weeks or something. But I think it would be cool. It would be fun, kind of like we are now. But we could have more people that can actually join if they want to join. They don't have to. You don't have to show a face or have a camera on. But if you want to, if your channels that do, and you don't even have to do content, but if you just want to be a voice and be on there, be seen, everybody together. So. One-eyed pillow talk, yes sir. You know what though? I even one eye when I'm not even doing anything sometimes, because when I don't have my glasses on, because when I wear my glasses in the screen, too much glare. That's why I always pull them off. See, it's like all glared out. The whole monitor is glared. So sometimes just to look, I do that to like read better. Off for the night. All right, man. It's Merry Christmas to you, buddy. Wishing you and your family a good one, my man. Stay safe, buddy. What's up, Alex B? Merry Christmas, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope all is good with you. Christmas to everybody. Oh, yeah, man, for sure. You too, man. Yeah, so I think we've been almost an hour and a half. What's up, Tom? There's Tom T. Again, I gave you a little thanks in the beginning. There's going to be a video drop, and I think I give you some thanks as well. But I thank you again for all you did, your donations for the Toys for Tots deal. Again, there will be a video that's coming out. I'm just waiting for it to get done being edited, and then it'll be an uploaded video. Alex coming late. Tom T pulling in late to the party, but it's okay, guys. You popped in. You said what's up. I appreciate y'all popping in and saying hi, hello. Oh, I know. Everybody's got a lot going on, and that's really why I did this tonight, because I will be breaking tomorrow night, and then I'm going to be just too busy as well. So I wanted to kind of hang out, a little Christmas chat, give you guys about an hour and a half of my time. Got to hang out with all of you because you guys hadn't seen me Monday for the podcast with the boys or Tuesday for any auction because I took this week off with Christmas. But again, guys, I want to close out and just say thank you all for popping in. I honestly want to thank all you guys for just being you, being a part of this community. I can't thank you guys enough, man. Like, honestly, like I've always said, like I do this because it helps me. It's therapeutic for me. Like for me to be able to share these stories with you tonight, like that makes me feel better. Like it helps me. Like I'm getting that adult interaction, even if it's not like physically face to face. Feels like it is, but it's not. So love you guys. Love all you guys, man. I wish nothing but an awesome, happy, fun, Merry Christmas to each and every one of you guys. I'm sure I'll post a Merry Christmas video on Christmas or whatever. Hope to do something fun for New Year's Eve. A little stream around New Year's time again. Hopefully break a box. Maybe like Mosaic basketball or something cool. We'll see what happens. I did Mosaic football last year, like I said earlier, at New Year's. We'll do something fun. But I appreciate y'all, man. Be safe. most of all. Have fun, most of all. Make sure you spread your love, spread your kindness, spread your happiness, your family. Don't let any of your family turn and make anything negative while you're with them this holiday season. Turn it around, make it positive. Try to deflect if there is any, whatever. Just enjoy it. Enjoy it. Just make sure you give everybody a hug. Tell them you love them. And just be thankful that you can spend time with them, right? Because we don't know how much time we have. Till next time, guys. Boy, Deafness 45. I love each and every one of you. Wishing each and every one of you a happy, Merry Christmas. Till next time, gang. We'll see you soon.